Lyra didn't sleep. She sat close to the drone's soft light, staring at the screen where the human's face had appeared. It had been hours since Captain Ryan Hale spoke, but his words still echoed in her mind. "You're not alone anymore." That sentence felt heavy. Strange. She had been alone for so long that even the idea of someone else being real felt like a dream. But outside her dead ship, the dream had shape. A dark, living warship called Horizon's Edge, floating beside her like a silent guardian. Then, her ship shook gently, the lights flickered. She jumped, heart racing. "Lyra," the voice returned. Calm. Strong. "This is Captain Hale. We're extending a magnetic tow line to your vessel. You'll feel a soft pull. That's us bringing you close." Her hands trembled. She crawled to the window and looked out. There, like a line of light, a silver beam connected both ships. Her vessel, old, broken, and small, began drifting toward the massive human craft. It looked like a black shark in space, smooth, armored, and completely silent. Lyra whispered to herself, "This is a human ship." Inside the Horizon's Edge, Captain Ryan Hale watched her ship on the screen. His crew stood quietly behind him. 2 humans, 1 AI drone, and a small alien engineer from a neutral world. He turned to them. "She's alive. Barely, but we need to act fast. Her ship's reactor is failing. Should we bring her in?" asked his second-in-command, Lieutenant Area. Ryan nodded. "Yes. Prepare medical bay and send her a message. Something simple. Something kind." Area smiled. "She's going to need it." Back on the Starcaller, Lyra's voice speaker lit up again. "Lyra, this is Ryan. You're safe now. We're bringing you aboard. You'll be greeted by soft lights and warm air. No weapons. No suits. Just people." She held her breath. People. She hadn't seen another living being in almost 20 years. As the ships connected, her airlock hissed for the first time in decades. The old doors opened with a groan. A new path stood before her, clean, lit, and full of fresh air. The drone hovered in front of her and beeped twice. It floated into the human ship. Lyra followed. The first thing she noticed was the warmth. Her own ship had been cold for years. But this place felt alive. Then she saw her. A woman, human, stood at the entrance with a soft smile. She wore a simple uniform and held out her hand. "Welcome aboard, Lyra. I'm Lieutenant Area." Lyra stepped forward, unsure. She looked around like a lost animal. Area reached gently and placed a hand on her shoulder. "You're safe now." Lyra looked up. Her lips moved, but she couldn't speak. She just nodded. In the medical bay, Lyra sat under warm lights. A machine scanned her body. She didn't like the noise, but the bed was soft. Captain Hale entered quietly. He removed his helmet and knelt beside her. "I'm Ryan, the one who answered your signal." Lyra looked into his eyes. There was no fear in them. No hate. Just calm. "You're human," she whispered. "Yes. I thought humans were gone." Ryan smiled slightly. That's what the galaxy wanted everyone to think. She tilted her head. "Why?" "Because after the war, Earth saw the truth. The Council left the weak to die, so we left the Council. We left the lies. We vanished. We watched from the shadows." Lyra's voice shook. "Then why come back now?" He paused. "Because you called." That night, Lyra slept for the first time in days. Not on a metal floor, not under cold lights, but in a real bed, with a warm blanket, in a quiet room where the walls didn't scream with alarms or warnings. She dreamed of home, of her mother's voice, of her people. But when she woke, she wasn't afraid anymore. Captain Hale stood at the viewing window, watching the stars. Area joined him. "She's stable now," Area said. "Med Bay cleared her. She's underweight, weak, but sharp." Ryan nodded. "She's the first voice we've heard in 19 years. Area looked confused. "Why her? Why did Earth respond to her, and no one else?" Ryan looked out into space. "She didn't ask for power, or money, or revenge. She just asked for someone to answer. And humanity had answered. Not with speeches, not with warnings, but with silence, and a hand reaching into the dark." They pierced the war cruiser's shield and boarded the ship. Inside the dark corridors, fierce battles broke out. Humans and aliens fought side by side against Council soldiers. Lexa led a team to the core of the warcruiser. They planted explosives and prepared to end the fight. Outside, the remaining council ships retreated. The warcruiser's core exploded in a massive blast, lighting the void. Echo Base 1 was safe. The galaxy was listening. In the quiet after the battle, Eric stood on the observation deck, looking at the stars. "Earth may be gone," he said softly, "but humanity lives." Lexa joined him, and now, we rebuild, not just as humans, but as a united galaxy. The signal continued to spread, reaching more and more lost colonies. The silence was broken forever. Hope was reborn. The galaxy was no longer ruled by fear and lies. It was a new dawn. The warcruiser's heavy shadow stretched over Echo Base 1. Its weapons glowed with deadly blue light. The crew worked fast, preparing to fight. But something unexpected happened. A new signal cut through space, a strange pattern, neither human nor council. It was a call for help. Then, another. Lexa looked at the screen, confusion in her eyes. "What is that?" Eric frowned. "It's a distress signal from the outer rim." Varric growled, "Are we walking into a trap?" Before anyone could answer, a fleet appeared on the scanners. Small, fast ships, unknown designs. Jolly whispered, "They're coming, but not to fight us." The new fleet docked at Echo Base 1. Their leader, a tall figure with dark scales and bright eyes, stepped forward. "I am Kalen," the alien said in careful English. "We know the Council's lies. We have watched your fight in silence." Lexa's voice was calm but curious. "Why help us?" Kalen nodded toward the warcruiser. "Because the Council's control hurts us too. We want freedom." Eric stood tall. "Then we fight together, humans and allies." Inside the base, Kalen showed them ancient maps and secret routes. "We can help you reach hidden colonies faster." Neuro smiled. Unexpected friends. Lexa looked out the window. The warcruiser was coming closer. "We don't have much time." Kalen's fleet prepared weapons and shields. "Together, we may turn the tide," Kalen said. Suddenly, alarms blared. The Council warcruiser fired its first shot. The battle began. Laser blasts lit the void. Echo Base 1 shook. The human railgun fired, powerful and true. Kalen's ships dodged and attacked, breaking the enemy lines. Lexa and Eric coordinated the fight, their voices steady. "We are not alone. We will fight. We will survive." As the warcruiser faltered, Lexa sent the human signal again. This time, with our allies. The galaxy's silence started to break. Hope returned. The void was no longer silent. Echo Base 1 buzzed with life and battle energy. Humans and their new allies fought side by side against the powerful Council warcruiser. Outside, stars blurred past in a dangerous dance of lasers and explosions. Inside the command room, Lexa stood steady, eyes fixed on the battle screens. Eric Vale beside her looked tired but determined. The fate of humanity and their scattered colonies rested on their shoulders. The Council warcruiser was huge, a floating fortress with weapons that could destroy entire planets. Its cannons fired blue plasma bolts, tearing through space toward the base and allied ships. Kalen's fleet weaved through enemy fire, using their speed and strange technology to confuse the Council forces. The human's railgun was silent no longer. Its powerful shot slammed into the warcruiser's hull, leaving a smoking crater. "We're making progress," Eric said, voice low but hopeful. "But not enough," Lexa warned. "They have backup coming. The Council will not give up easily." Suddenly, an alarm rang out. A fleet of ships appeared on the scanner. Council reinforcements, bigger and faster than before. "We need a plan," Lexa said. "A strong one." Jolly stepped forward, her fingers dancing over the console. "I can send a message. A signal. To every hidden colony. If they join us now, we might turn this fight around." Eric nodded sharply. "Do it. Tell them the truth." The message went out. A call for help, hope, and unity. From the darkest corners of space, signals flickered back. Ships started appearing on the radar. Old human colonies, long forgotten, answered the call. They came with weapons, supplies, and courage. The battle outside exploded into chaos. Lexa, Eric, Kalen, and their crews worked together flawlessly. The humans' courage and the aliens' technology combined in a powerful force. One by one, the council ships fell. The war cruiser was damaged, but still fought fiercely. Inside the war cruiser's bridge, the council commander snarled. "They cannot win," he hissed. "Erase them all." Back at Echo Base 1, Lexa looked at the screen and smiled. "They don't understand humans. We fight with heart, not just weapons." Eric added, "And we fight for each other." As the council commander prepared a final devastating attack, Kalen's ships launched a surprise strike. The ship moved through space like a shadow, quiet, fast, and deadly. The Horizon's Edge was not just any ship, it was human-built, a ghost to most of the galaxy. Rumors said Earth had fallen. Others said humans had turned savage and disappeared into the void. But now, one ship floated back into the stars, and it wasn't here by mistake. Lyra sat in a small chair near the bridge, still weak but alert. Her eyes followed the movement of the crew, calm, fast, precise. Captain Ryan Hale walked in, eyes locked on the glowing star map. "We're heading into old council space," he said. Lyra stood slowly. "That's dangerous. You'll be seen." He nodded. "Good." She stared at him, confused. "You want them to see you." Ryan turned toward her. His face was calm, but something burned behind his eyes. "They need to know that humanity didn't die." We watched. On the bridge, large screens showed stars, ship paths, and deep space signals. Suddenly, one screen beeped. Lieutenant Ariel looked at it. "Captain, there's a listening post ahead. Council tech. Still active." Ryan gave a short smile. "Let's give them something to listen to." He nodded to his communication officer. The officer pressed a button. A signal pulsed outward, steady, strong, and clearly human. Lyra gasped. "You're broadcasting." "Yes," Ryan replied. "In every council frequency." "What are you saying?" Ryan looked at her and said simply, "We're back." Far across space, deep in a council system, the signal reached a monitoring station. A blue-skinned officer froze. "Commander," he called out, "we just received a human signal." "Impossible," the older alien replied. "No, sir. It's real. Encryption matches Earth pre-exile codes." The room went silent. Humans hadn't sent a message in 19 years. Now they sent one right into the heart of the galaxy. Back aboard Horizon's Edge, Lyra sat with Ryan in the small mess hall. She took small bites of food. It tasted real. Warm. It felt strange after years of dried survival rations. "You're not just helping me," she said softly. "You came back with a plan." Ryan nodded. "You were the spark. But Earth was already watching. Waiting. Waiting for what?" He leaned forward. His voice dropped. "For the right time to remind them what they lost when they left us behind." Lyra swallowed hard. "You're going to war." "No," he said firmly. "We're not starting a war." He paused. "But we will end one." That night, the ship changed course. It moved into deeper space, toward a broken colony once left to die by the council. As the stars shifted, Lyra felt something in her chest. Not fear, not pain. Hope. She had sent a signal into the dark. And now, the dark was changing. In a far council chamber, leaders gathered. The message from Horizon's Edge played on a loop. "This is Captain Ryan Hale of Earth. To those who forgot us, we remember. To those who abandoned the weak, we return. We come not for revenge, but for justice. Humanity has not died. We have only been silent. Until now." The room filled with fear. For the first time in decades, Earth had spoken. And the galaxy was listening. The ship floated in silence. No stars around. No planets. Just cold, empty space and the slow pull of a black hole nearby. The alien vessel Vatrax 9 was dying. Its engines were dead. Life support was low. Oxygen would run out in 3 hours. The crew had tried everything. Captain Varric stood on the bridge, staring at the dark screen. He had sent 10 distress signals over the last 2 days. No one answered. No one even cared. "We're ghosts already," said Jolly, the ship's youngest engineer. She sat beside a broken panel, her eyes tired. "The council won't send help. We are not important enough." Varric didn't respond. He knew she was right. They were a small exploration team from the Kalari species. Their mission was to scan deep space and report anything strange. They had flown too far. A hidden gravity trap pulled them into this dead zone. When they tried to leave, their engine failed. Communications were blocked by space storms. They were forgotten. "Captain," said First Officer Neuro, "I suggest we begin cold sleep. It may save oxygen." Varric looked at his crew. 4 officers left, all tired, all silent. Giving up was not easy, but death was close. "Prepare the pods," he said quietly. Suddenly, a light blinked on the screen. Jolly jumped to her feet. "Captain!" A signal. Unknown source. Everyone turned. On the monitor, a wave signal appeared, faint but real. "Where is it coming from?" Neuro asked. Jolly worked fast. Her hand shook. "It's close. Just outside the asteroid field. Not far." "Is it Council?" Varric asked. She shook her head. "No. The signature. It's human." The room fell silent. Human. That couldn't be. The last human ship was destroyed 50 years ago in the final war. The Council said Earth was gone. Wiped out. No one had seen a human in decades. Could it be a trick? Neuro asked, voice low. Varric stared at the signal. It was repeating the same 3 words. "You are not alone." He turned to his crew. "What? It's real." "We don't know what's out there," Jolly whispered. "If it's human, why now? Why here?" "Because we called," Varric said. And something answered. The crew powered the secondary thrusters. They had just enough energy for one short jump. Varric locked on to the signal. It led them to a small asteroid belt, silent and empty. But between 2 giant rocks, a structure floated. It looked like an old space station, black and broken. No lights, no movement. The signal came from inside. "Looks abandoned," said Neuro. "Maybe it's a trap," Jolly said. "Maybe pirates use old human codes to lure ships." Varric didn't answer. He stared at the station. Something about it felt strange. Not dangerous, but old. Waiting. "Prepare to dock," he ordered. The ship connected with the station's airlock. Varric led the boarding team. Him, Neuro, and Jolly. Suits on. Weapons ready. The station was dark inside. Cold metal walls. Flickering lights. Dust everywhere, but the power was still working. Barely. Then a sound echoed through the halls. Footsteps. Slow. Calm. The crew raised their weapons. From the shadows, a figure stepped forward. It was human. A woman, wearing an old Earth military suit, stood before them. Her helmet was off, her face pale, eyes sharp, hair tied back. She looked calm, but something deep burned in her eyes. "You answered the call," she said softly. Varric couldn't speak. "Impossible," Jolly whispered. "I'm Commander Lexa," the woman said. "Last officer of Earth's Echo Project." "You're human," Varric said. "Yes," she replied. "But Earth is gone." Lexa stared at him. Earth never died. It was erased. Hidden, buried by those who feared it. The crew was silent. Lexa looked at them, then turned and began walking deeper into the station. "Come," she said. "There's much you don't know, and very little time." The station was cold, silent, like it hadn't seen life in years. Captain Varric and his team followed Commander Lexa down the narrow metal hallway. Lights flickered overhead. Dust floated in the air. Nothing about this place felt alive, but it wasn't dead either. "How long have you been here?" Jolly asked, her voice echoing. Lexa didn't turn around. "A long time. I stopped counting after year 20. Varric's mind raced. This human was real. Alive. Not a ghost, not a trick. But how? Why here, in the middle of a forgotten sector? They entered a control room filled with old tech. Most of it looked Earth-made. Rusted, patched, but working. Lexa sat in the command chair like she had never left it. "This station is called Echo Base 1, she said. "It was built for one purpose. To listen." "Listen for what?" Neuro asked. Lexa smiled faintly. "Survivors. Signals. Proof that Earth wasn't truly alone." Jolly looked at the flickering screens. "But no one heard you. No one came." Lexa's eyes turned cold. No one wanted to. The Galactic Council blocked human signals. They made sure the galaxy forgot us. But I didn't forget. And now, you're here. Meanwhile, back on the Vetrax 9, strange things were happening. The systems kept flashing random codes. Lights turned on and off. Then, A new voice spoke from the ship's speakers. Signal locked. Transfer in progress. The AI on board didn't recognize the source. Unknown Earth protocol detected. The system warned. But the signal wasn't hostile. It felt calm. And then a map appeared on the bridge screen. It showed hundreds of red dots, all around the galaxy. At the center, one bright blue mark. Echo Base 1. The signal was reaching out. Inside the station, Varric stood by Lexa. "This place, it's not just a station," he said. "No," Lexa replied. "It's a key." "To what?" She looked him in the eye. "To the truth." The Council lied. Earth was not destroyed. It was betrayed. We tried to warn them about the threats beyond the edge. They couldn't listen. Then they erased us. Neuro stepped forward. "Why now? Why show this to us?" Lexa answered, "Because you came. You were the first non-human signal to reach us. That makes you important." Jolly looked confused. "We're just explorers. Why would they listen to us?" Lexa tapped a panel. The room dimmed. A giant screen lit up. It showed videos, old footage from Earth, cities burning, Council ships above the sky, humans running underground. Then came the final message from Earth Command. "If you find this signal, you are not our enemy. Earth is still watching." Varric stepped back, shaken. He had always believed the Council's version of history. That Earth had destroyed itself. That humans were unstable, dangerous. But now he wasn't sure. "What do you want from us?" he asked Lexa. She stood. "I want you to choose. I can give you fuel, repairs, help, but only if you tell your people the truth. That could start a war," Neuro said. Lexa nodded. "Or stop one before it begins." Suddenly, alarms rang out in the station. Lexa turned to the screen. Multiple ships entering the sector. Fast approach. Varric rushed to her side. "Who is it?" She zoomed in on the radar. 5 ships, sharp black design, Council markings. "Hunters," Lexa said coldly. "They're here for you, or for me." Back on Vitrax 9, the crew scrambled to prepare the ship. Weapons were offline. Shields low. No time to escape. Jolly's voice cracked over the comms. "Captain, we're out of time." Lexa looked at Varric. "You can still leave. I won't stop you. But if you stay, things will change." Varric stared at the blinking red dots on the radar. His crew. His mission. The truth. "We stay," he said. Lexa gave a slow, approving nod. "Then let's show them that Earth never forgot how to fight."